What is up, duelists? Arts and Crafts here, once again bringing you your daily dose of Yu-Gi-Oh! GOAT format action. Today's feature match, we've got CRW, sure, versus Hunter77. Just checking to make sure that's something that I shouldn't be saying, but I think it's fine. Um, yeah, as always, both players rated in the top 200 of the dueling but GOAT format ladder at the time this match was played. Let's hop right into it. Looks like CR was able to win that RPS. They will be going first. They're going to just lead out with a set back row pass, so nothing too crazy, but we might be in for a long one here. Hunter is going to lead out with an MST, clear out that back row, hitting a Dust Tornado. So a little bit of like for like there, but the back row is clear for Hunter to go for a little bit of a play. Resolving Pot of Greed, so immediately going up +1. Really nice opening. Into Reasoning. Okay, so a little bit of Reasoning action, potentially. Out of Hunter, Reasoning Gate likely here. CRW, I think, yeah, blind, you're definitely just going to call 4, especially when the opponent doesn't have any monsters on board, so you can like prevent Sacred Crane from coming down. They do immediately flip into a Fusilier Dragon, which could mean that this is Machine Gate. It is another monster that's just played in standard Reasoning Gate, because level 7 is, it's probably the best level 7 target. But Fusilier is going to hit the board, which on his own is a pretty big clock, but we'll see if Hunter is done comboing here. We're going to go normal summon Sacred Crane, just get a big old clock here, and hit in for a lot of damage. Drop CRW down all the way to 3,600, and you get to pass with lethal on board already. So very strong opening from Hunter here. MST to clear out the back row, go for a little mini combo. And now CRW, see if you have anything to deal with this. Otherwise, it's going to be a very quick game one. But you do have Snatch still here. You're going to steal that Fusilier Dragon. So the big threat is now yours. And we're going to summon Injection Fairy Lily. Wow, okay. So CRW clapping back really strongly here with two big monsters of their own. A Fusilier beat over the Sacred Crane and then get in for 3,400 with the Lily. This will drop CRW all the way down to 1,600 life points. But if you're playing like an aggro deck or something here, you got to start beating in, so I definitely like the aggression. And now, suddenly, CRW actually is not passing with lethal on board because they no longer have any Lily activations, but they're 200 LP short. Well, I guess 1,200 LP short because of the Snatch Steal life gain. So actually not an insane clock, but Hunter77 went for a little bit of a mini combo, did a lot of damage, but didn't have anything to protect it, and CRW broke the board and established a strong one of their own. And this is kind of what you want to do against Reasoning Gate decks, right? You want to pressure them as much as possible, prevent them from, having enough time to just draw enough cards to combo off. So I like getting aggressive here for CRW. We're going to go set a back row pass here to potentially protect this a little bit better than Hunter was able to. And we'll see if Hunter can now re-break the board. Going to drop return. They've got Giant Trunade, which will get their Fusilier Dragon back. And that would actually just be lethal, Dragon attack over Lily. We're going to chain Book of Moon, though. Probably set the Lily face down to prevent that from coming through. Oh, we're going to set down the Fusilier, so that way it just stays on the board. And the Snatch Steal will just get bounced back to hand to be used later on. And now the Fusilier Dragon is just yours forever, actually. Yeah, the Snatch... Oh, actually, sorry, yeah, the Snatch does go to the grave, I think. Yeah, I think that's how that works, right? Because it's not attached to anything. We are just going to get BrainCon here on the Lily. Normal summon the Sacred Crane, so I guess... Oh, yeah, so this is just GG. Lily will just beat over, and so the Snatch Steal interaction doesn't actually matter. In case I'm wrong there. That's good to know. But we can just go Lily, beat over the Fusilier Dragon, and Crane will hit in for the last 1,600 points of damage. Wow, so what an absolute slobber knocker there in game one. Over in 2 turns, Reasoning Gate versus something that main decks Injection Fairy Lily. I guess this could be Earth Aggro out of CRW, could be maybe like a Go Control list or something. So Hunter probably doesn't have too much here to go off of with their side decking. But CRW can definitely side some stuff in. So a little bit of an advantage here in game 2, I think, for CRW. Being able to side in a scenario where the opponent can't really side against you. And you get to go first against Reasoning Gate, which is pretty nice. We will just head on to game 2, though. CRW will lead us off, as previously mentioned. And they're going to start out with a Reinforcement of the Army. Okay, so this does make me think it's Earth Aggro, because main decking Lily and also having a Rhoda is generally something you'd see from that. Yeah, and DD Assailant, I feel like, basically confirms that this is Earth Aggro. And we're just going to go set a monster, set a couple back row pass. DD Assailant is a pretty safe set monster. It's actually pretty good against Reasoning Gate as well, because it will just deal with whatever the monster came through as, and it's a wall to come down if your opponent activates Dimension Fusion as well. So pretty solid monster in the matchup. We'll see if Hunter has any outs to it. Gonna lead out with a Heavy Storm. That's pretty strong. CRW is gonna chain Waboku though, so that's pretty nice. This basically prevents Hunter from going for a big combo this turn, at least for like an OTK. They could just get like a nice big board and threaten CRW, but they won't be able to kill him this turn through this Waboku. Heavy Storm is going to take out a Dust Tornado as well, so Heavy does get a little +1, but big tempo swing here for CRW, forcing Hunter to really just not be able to do too much this turn. Still have a Pot of Greed here, though, so not the end of the world here for Hunter. Cue the meme of, you know, crying, wiping your tears with, like, stacks of dollar bills, right? Pot of Greed. They're just going to set a back row pass, but now this does give an opening for CRW if they are truly on that Earth Aggro list to start getting in for a lot of damage here right off the gate. Gonna draw for turn, we'll get flip summon DD Assailant, confirming that there was their turn 1 play, which is no surprise, and we're gonna summon DD Warrior Lady here as well. So two really good monsters in this matchup, and a pretty solid clock here against Hunter's Reasoning Gate list. You get to hit in for 3,200 right off the bat. Ooh, we do just have Torrential Tribute on the summon, though, to deal with those monsters, and that is another nice little 2-for-1 here for Hunter. So this is one of those matchups where card advantage doesn't really matter too much, but if it just keeps adding up, +1, +1, +1, suddenly CRW just really doesn't have any gas or defense, and Hunter can just combo off. So Reasoning Gate slowly kind of grinding out advantage here so far, which Hunter will try to liquidate into an actual like OTK or near OTK scenario in the near future, most likely. CRW does have a couple more back row, doesn't have to worry about Heavy Storm, so no cost to just setting all of your back row here. Of course, Hunter has Reasoning just to fire it off right now. I think you still name 4 here if you're CRW. I guess DMOC could be annoying, but I think you just name 4. Let's see, we flip into Blowback Dragon, so a little bit of coverage there on 6 is pretty neat. Definitely a standard card here in Reasoning Gate at this point in time. Is a nice big beater. You can deal with your opponent's back row here with the effect, which is pretty neat. So likely going to see that go out. And what's cool is you can use the effect, clear out a back row, and then it still sticks around. A, it can still attack, or B, it's a monster for like Monster Gate. So really kind of a jack of all trades sort of card here in these Reasoning Gate lists. And it's at a level that you don't really have a lot of amazing options at. So to increase your reasoning coverage, Blowback Dragon is really just an all-star. Going to attempt to blow up one of these back row. We're just going to chain it, though. Not going to play any games. It's important to remove Reasoning Gate's monsters to turn off Monster Gate, of course. So nice play out here out of CRW. Just to remove that, both players will take some damage as well. And now CRW basically just seem to have bricked Hunter there. And we'll see if they can start getting a little bit more aggressive. Gonna go normal summon Breaker the Magical Warrior. This is 1900 damage a turn. That is pretty nice. Gonna be a solid clock, 3-turn clock. Hunter very much on the back foot. We saw they didn't really have any follow-up after that Reasoning Gate, or that Reasoning last turn, so maybe doesn't have too much going for them in terms of gas. And CRW is now pressuring, so could be pretty solid. Hunter here. Gonna set a back row and activate card destruction, so really, yeah, under a lot of pressure from this Breaker. Saving one card could be Dimension Fusion, could be like a Monster Gate or a Reasoning, and now just trying to spin the wheel to try and draw into some combo material. Oh, interesting, so they did have, so DMOC second hand, Lightning Vortex not doing too much, a Dead Duo, and then actually discarding a Monster Gate is a little bit interesting, but maybe has a second copy of it that's set, so would rather just try and find a monster to maybe normal summon to turn it live. I think that's totally fair. See what they draw into. Just going to set a monster pass, though, so failing the card destruction here. Not really finding anything to do, and CRW can continue to beat in with this Breaker. Got a couple juicy targets here for the Breaker effect as well. I think you probably target the middle back row because it was set pre-card destruction, so it's pretty likely that it is just like something unchainable that they wanted to save to potentially combo off with, is kind of my thought process there. And that's exactly what CRW is going to do, and it is a Dimension Fusion, yeah, so hitting a really risky play there out of Hunter, setting Dimension Fusion into a known Breaker, banking on finding something to start their combo off. And if that was just Dimension Fusion, a little bit weird to see them discard this Monster Gate to the card D. Because you would think if you like drew into a Sacred Crane or something off the card D, you would just normal summon it and then go for the Monster Gate play. But at this point, 2 key combo pieces ripped away, and now this Breaker can just continue to beat you down. 1600 damage straight to the dome. Gonna set another back row pass, and now Breaker here is a 2-turn clock. Hunter's gonna draw for turn. Snatch Steal will eliminate the pressure, and they do have a Monster Gate in hand, so one way or another, they found a way to activate and go off for a little bit of a combo here. CRW thinking upon activation, though. Gonna let it go through, and it flips into a Fusilier Dragon, which is a little more than just a big clock, but a big clock is pretty nice at this point. It is 2 turns. And we're just going to pass. Not going to attack with it is a little bit interesting. You think you would at least want to, like, chunk out CRW, but choosing not to. Maybe worried about a Mirror Force or something, but I feel like at this point you can't really afford to do that. I mean, it is just a nice big wall if you are up against just like Earth Aggro here, so maybe from that perspective it makes sense. Ooh, and then CRW top deck Snatch Steal of their own, stealing the Fusilier, and that is going to be game 2 going to CRW. Yeah, just was able to get nice and aggressive. Hunter with a little bit bricked there, but CRW was able to deal with and disrupt the combo pretty easily. Reasoning Gate on its weaker draws is pretty fragile, so stuff like targeted spot removal from Ring can really throw a wrench in the works. And that was just enough to keep Hunter on the back foot long enough for CRW to find threats for game. And we'll go to game 3 here. Hunter now, I think, can be pretty certain that CRW is on Earth Aggro, though. So maybe siding in some different stuff than they would have in game 2. And they do get to go first here. We'll see how they can utilize that advantage. Gonna go T-set pass, getting a monster on board, threatening some Monster Gate stuff potentially. CRW is going to T-set of their own. So not the starts you would expect to see out of either of these decks, but it is what we're getting with here. So both players playing a little bit slow. Kind of interesting. Hunter is going to go Tribute Summon for Jinzo. Okay, so Earth Aggro is one of those decks that plays a lot of traps. So just banking on Jinzo, the Floodgate effect being enough to carry you to victory at this point in time is pretty cool. And now they can attack in for pretty much free, not having to worry about any Mirror Forces or anything. Ooh, but DD Assailant coming in clutch here for CRW. Like I said, a really good card in the matchup. It's going to banish the Jinzo. Nice little +1 essentially there for CRW because DD Assailant deals with both the Crane and the Jinzo in one fell swoop. And yeah, Jinzo gets banished to be a Dimension Fusion target, but the DD Assailant would come back as well. So this might not be the last we see of that solid monster. CRW, draw for turn. They do have a threat here as well. King Tiger Wanghu, amazing card in the matchup. Going to deal with like scapegoats and things like that while applying pressure. Hits in for 17. And yeah, Hunter is under a lot of pressure right now. King Tiger is going to make it hard for them to stick a monster for Monster Gate. See what the play is. Giant Trunade, so maybe setting it for a combo. CRW is going to chain Dust Tornado to pop the other back row. Hitting a Dimension Fusion? Hunter, why are we just setting our key combo pieces for no reason? There was no need to set that turn 1, right? If you're just going T-set, Sacred Crane, whatever, that just seems really odd to me. And you just let it hanging there to get killed by a Dust Tornado? I mean, hopefully you have multiple copies of Diffusion in your hand or something that would make it more likely, but I still feel like there's no real reason to do that. Maybe you can go for a combo here, though. The Trunade resolves, back row is clear. Let's see if they can take advantage. They're just going to fire off a card destruction. Okay. Discarding another Diffusion and an Air Knight and a Crane. Okay, so not a great hand, but that's 2 Dimension Fusions in the grave already. I guess you can always get them back later with a Demock, but that's 2 key combo pieces gone. CRW's hand was pretty solid. Lots of threats here. Assailant, Kaiku, Breaker, all really good cards in the matchup, as we've discussed. Mirror Force hit in the grave as well. Interesting that they didn't set that turn 1, but I guess playing around Heavy Storm. And Hunter will get a nice fresh set of cards here to maybe go for a little bit of a combo, but they have to get through this King Tiger Wanghu first. We're going to get Premature Burial. Like, I guess you go for the Air Knight or the Sacred Crane. Depends on what's in your hand if you want to get a little bit more combo juice, or just get a big presence on the board to start pressuring the opponent and deal with this King Tiger. We're going to go for Air Knight, so we're going for value. We're going to summon the Crane here too, just start beating down. Air Knight will get in for 200 damage and draw Hunter a card. Pretty nice. And the Crane will hit in for 16, so this is a pretty nice clock. But CRW could just deal with this pretty easily, no back row to protect it. 1900 is not that scary of an attack point total for Earth Aggro, right? Decks that run, stuff like Goblin Attack Force. CRW, let's see what the play is. We're going to go MST on the Premature, killing the Air Knight. That's pretty nice, and now you just have to get over the 1600 attack point monster. Ooh, Giganti is going to come through. That is one way to do it. A big, beefy boy, and Tribe Infecting Virus. So we're going maximum aggro here. Giganti's coming in clutch here to both be bigger than the Sacred Crane and just get a pretty big clock here on Hunter. Exactly what you want to be doing. It's Reasoning Gate. Get to hit in for 1900 damage this turn, and threatening even more next turn. And things are looking really good for CRW. Hunter will only have 3 cards to their name after this. They went for a little bit of a mini play there with the Prima on the Air Knight and the Sacred Crane normal summon, so it's pretty clear that they don't have any crazy combo pieces. And things are looking really good for CRW here. Hunter going to drop return. They're just going to fire off the Reasoning. I guess at this point 2 Cranes are gone, so you probably call 8, is my guess, to prevent the DMOC. Yeah, W agrees. I'm going to flip in the Fusilier, though, so the 7-level monster are going to come through. And this is a big monster. If you can deal with the Tribe, it could just stick around to dominate the board. Or you can kill the Gigantes and blow up the back row, actually. So kind of a high-risk, high-reward card, of course. We're going to deal with the Tribe first, though. Well, Boku's going to come around. Oh, and that's just basically GG, right? Hunter has to set a monster to protect their life points, but Tribe's going to be able to kill the Fusilier. Yikes. Yeah, Tribe effect, discard Ring to deal with the Fusilier. You can go attack over the set monster, probably a Crane, or just another Fusilier. Gigantes gets in for 19, and now you get to pass with lethal on board, and Hunter has 2 cards left. Hunter draws for turn. We're going to slam down Chaos Sorcerer. Okay, so that's pretty good. You can deal with the Tribe. Summoning it in defense, so I guess, well, not really too much of a reason to do that, I guess. Actually, this is one of those decks where you want to summon the Sork in attack position, so it won't just get beaten over by Goblin Attack Force. So a little bit of a mistake there for Hunter, depending on what they end up doing. But you definitely banish the Tribe here. Hit a back row pass. Dust Tornado will clear it out. So all CRW needs to do is deal with this Sork, and it's going to be GG. Drop return. Smashing Ground, top deck for game, and there you have it. CRW going to take it down 2-1 on Earth Aggro against Hunter's Reasoning Gate list. Just the pure aggression here, too much for Reasoning Gate. Put him on too fast of a clock in both games 2 and 3. Hunter was unable to deal with it, unable to really set up any sort of massive combos at any point all match. And yeah, really well play here from our red corner player. Cool decks, cool matchup that we don't normally see on this channel, despite them both being popular decks in the meta. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll catch you all next time.